I want to welcome everyone to our webinar. And this webinar is on our shadow lists. Shadow lists is one of the most innovative ways to grow your online business, and it's actually a way to grow an offline business. And we're going to share some of those twists to it. In this presentation, you guys are going to get some actionable content that you can apply to your businesses, or if you're consultants, you can go out and apply this. So we're not here for some 3-hour long, let me tell you about this new shiny object. We're here to teach you guys some awesome stuff. And yes, at the end, we're going to, we're going to give you guys is it a $70? Is that right?
Yeah, it's
$70, a $70 credit to a shadow list. You're just straight up, we're going to give that to everyone, and there's no purchase on that. And then we're also going to tell you about some other training that we're going to do. So from there, let's rock and roll. I'm going to send this off to Kevin Davis.
And before I start, I just wanted to give a big shout out to my good friend and very talented musician from Las Vegas, Robbie LeBlanc, that joined us here tonight. So I was talking to him earlier this week about some of the promotions that he's running, and he was really interested to find out what we were doing on Facebook, and so he was able to join us, and I do see him in the questions. So thanks for joining us, Robbie. So as Spencer said, we're talking about shadow lists tonight, and let's just go ahead and get started. Basically, if you look at the statistics, probably 98% to 99% of the visitors to your site leave. So if we look at our e-commerce site at Discount Cardstock, our e-commerce conversion rate is 1.36%. While I'm a math minor, I'm not going to do a lot of calculations here, but I believe that's 98.64% of the people leaving our website without buying anything from us. And that's actually, I believe that's on first visit, though. A lot of the times our visitors are a longer sales cycle, so it could be taking 5-7 days, usually on average, or it could go out even longer than 30 days, depending. One of the markets that we cater to is the wedding market. So as a person is planning their wedding, they'll actually pick out their colors and pick out the cardstock that they want for their invitations and stuff, and it may be 30 to 45 days before they actually buy. But overall, our e-commerce conversion rate, and it's pretty much the norm for e-commerce industry, is 1.36%. So if you're looking at your overall visits to your site, what is your conversion rate? You know, it may be that you're running a sales funnel. You might be doing more of a direct marketing approach than the e-commerce approach, and you may be converting a lot more based on affiliate traffic or different things like that. But if you look at overall traffic, including your blog and all the different content that you have on your site, you're probably going to fall into the 1 to 2%, or maybe 3 to 5%. It's probably not going to be this 20% conversion that this great affiliate is giving you. Regardless of your bounce rate, you really want to look at what percentage of the visits to your site result in a sale. And by doing that, looking at some of those metrics, like here we can see the average value of a visitor or of a sale on our site is actually $46.52. What that means is I can spend up to $46.52 to make that sale. Now, in our case, we have hard products, so there is some overhead cost in that. There's also employee cost, and then we have the advertising cost involved. And so we have to look at those other metrics to determine what the actual profit is. But we also have to look at a lifetime value of those customers and see what our lifetime value is, because we do have a lot of repeat visitors and a lot of repeat customers. And so if we look at our traffic that results in conversions, about 50% of that traffic comes from search, which is about 50-50 divided between organic, natural SEO search and paid search. And then about 30% are actually direct referrals. So these are people that are return customers that are then using us again, people that we've developed the trust and relationship with, that know about us and continue to use us as their provider for cardstock. So what the heck is shadow list? Shadow list is actually a term I think that Spencer came up. Spencer, did you find it somewhere else, or is that a Spencer Shaw term?
I don't know. I actually think what was
You're
it?
watching or
Someone
you're
was
listening
calling
to
it like
late night
shadow
radio.
marketing, and then
You're
yeah,
listening
you know what I mean.
the
You
old
mean
radio shows,
was
right?
that Coast to Coast? Coast
Yeah.
to Coast, man, I can't get enough of that. But anyways, what I did is I combined two words, and so I heard shadow marketing, and then there's like email lists, and I
Okay.
think what I did is I just put the two together.
Okay. So basically, what we're talking about, you may be more familiar with the term remarketing or retargeting. Um, Basically, this is follow up marketing to continue to build trust and overcome objections. Like I said, with a person just visiting your site for the first time, they may not see what they need in order to make that buying decision. What retargeting allows you to do is actually follow up, re-engage that person, get them back out to visiting your site, and hopefully visiting other content or other material that actually overcomes those objections and builds trust with them. So we'll actually come with a few ways to build that trust here in a little bit. We're also talking about continuing to market even though they simply visited your website. So a lot of us hear the whole thing about the money is in the list. These people don't actually have to be on your email list to continue to market to them. That's the really great thing. And we'll actually see a retargeting list that we have for discount card stock that has been building on autopilot for several months now. And I think you'll be a little bit surprised as far as how large that list actually is. And you're able to market through other channels based on actions they've taken from your email marketing. So even even if you have someone on your email list, you can then also determine if they open that email. You can actually determine that, and you can then show ads to them as well on other channels. So you can show them ads on Facebook, on Google search through AdWords, or using the ad network within Google, as well as another company that we're using called Perfect Audience. You can expand that to all kinds of sites through the ad network. So let's say that they're a reader of the Wall Street Journal online or TechCrunch or something like that. You could actually target them on those other platforms that they already have as part of their daily activity of reading the news of the day online, which so many more people are doing these days.
Hey, if you guys have seen companies follow you online, type in yes. I want to hear how many people have noticed that. And then we're also going to be using some examples, but I just want to get a good scope on that.
Cool. So some ways to build trust. So after they visit your website, you could actually create advertisement, either text advertising or banner advertising as well, that then reiterates different testimonials you've had. It gives them the opportunity to read case studies, maybe download a white paper, a PDF. You can then direct them to video tutorials, because it could be that the content that they saw previously, maybe it was to a sales letter, or maybe it was just to a blog article. Maybe it didn't have the modal delivery that they are best familiar with, that works best for them. So maybe video tutorials might be, or a video review might be a better situation, and they might respond better to that. And then also, it could be that if they abandon your shopping cart, it could be that a discount code could actually build that trust back. It could be, like we have in several cases, people complaining about our shipping costs. And depending on the relationship that we've had, or depending on how big their possible order is, we may also extend discount codes to them in order to get that sale. I think the biggest mistake, and this is actually, we've actually made this mistake as well, is showing the same type of ads to remarketing lists as before. So that the ad that you're creating to actually get people to your site that initial time is really a different ad than what you should be using for a remarketing list. If you're marketing to a remarketing list, they already have an experience on your site. They've already been exposed to it. They already have some level of trust, so you can actually it's a lot easier for them to come over. And since you know that, you can then customize that experience, and you can customize that ad based on what they've already seen. And the other thing with that is that original ad that they've had, it didn't work before. So if you're retargeting people that didn't convert into a sale, you know that it didn't work. So now you're actually doing something else, and you're trying to overcome the objections that they had previously. You're also trying to build a relationship by helping them get the information they need, and it also gives you an opportunity to reinforce your brand recognition. You know, the thing is, a lot of people online are thinking the real direct response people are less concerned about brand, and they're more concerned about copy. But in the reality in today's world, it's very easy for you to use social media and use the online resources to actually build your brand. And so this is a really great way to continuously reiterate your brand through the advertising. And even if they don't click on your ad, just seeing your ad is going to reinforce that brand. And you could also have your domain name on that advertising, and you'll actually get typed in traffic by reinforcing that brand, every day by retargeting those people. So on the road to some better retargeting, a good way to do it is customizing the experience based on where they lived. So by using different retargeting lists and segmenting your visitors down to different pages that they visited through that experience that they're going through your site, you can then customize that experience based on the pages they visited and where they left. The other thing that you could actually do is, let's say you're actually doing a survey. In this case, this example is golfers, and we actually asked them whether or not they're a woman or a man, and then we actually said, okay, are you having problems in the fairway? Are you slicing your drives, or are you hooking your drives? And so by asking them 2 questions, we can actually completely refine the experience within the ad as well as the landing page that they come to. So based on the 2 answers to those questions, we can then put them in a separate retargeting list so that when we come back with advertising, when we're running banners, or even when we're creating the text ad, we can reference that. In the case of maybe like in a Facebook ad, if we know that it's a woman, then it's going to have a woman's picture there. If it's a man, it's going to have a man's picture there. Once it goes over to the landing page, of course, if your ad has a woman in it, and you know that it's a woman that's seeing that ad, you want your landing page to have a woman on it. And if they said, well, I'm slicing my drives, you can then reiterate that in the copy as well as in the ad, and it's so targeted and so powerful. This is why your conversions then go up with retargeting based on the information that you now have, instead of the blind marketing that you're doing initially. Does that make sense, Spence? Taking that as a yes.
It does make sense, Kev. I got the lightning fast fingers going through all.
So you're answering all the questions. Good.
But
okay,
you're right.
Good. And I'm going to be going fast.
What I did is I asked everyone if they've. All right, man. Let's do it. Let's keep on going. How's the pace, everyone? Give me a thumbs up if this is a good pace.
I'm hoping it's good. We got a lot to cover.
If you guys want faster, give me a thumbs up if you want it faster.
So other information to target. By using a survey like what we did in the golfer example, we're also able to collect additional information so we can use that in our targeting. Maybe if it's a digital product, we could ask about their preferred learning format. If we're doing information products, so we could ask them whether they like PDFs, live webinars, or video. We can ask them about their goals. So what is their income goals? What is their weight loss goals? Different things like that. What are their lifestyle goals? Do they want to travel more? Different things like that. Their primary interests, maybe they like photography, maybe they like music, depending on what the niche is. Picking interest that makes sense for that niche, and more information to increase that targeting, and change that landing page, change that ad copy to match that will really help as well. And you could also ask their income range, and then targeting on Facebook and some of these other new data targeting that we're going to show at the end of the presentation tonight, that's now available on Facebook, or just different information as far as in the copy as well. So you can also target based on actions taken. So let's say you are running an e-commerce site and they made it to the checkout process, but they didn't actually check out. Or possibly also if they read a specific page on your site or a post on your blog. We actually do this in our retargeting list for Social Traffic Lab based on different blog posts that we're creating. If we're creating a blog post about outsourcing, we'll actually put the retargeting pixel on there and we'll put them into a retargeting list for specifically about outsourcing. So later on down the line, maybe a month from now, we see an offer come out that is about outsourcing, that is a good fit for our members and specifically addresses some concerns that we know that they have about outsourcing. We can then start running ads to those people for outsourcing. And we don't really have to clutter their email box with these offers. It gives us the opportunity to connect with them, offer them material that could help them in a totally different way without sending them emails. You can also do retargeting based on a specific video they watched on your YouTube channel. This is incredibly powerful. This is done through AdWords, and this is one of the things that I was talking to Robbie about on our call earlier this week, because he actually does a lot of videos. He does interviews in the mixed martial arts arena, but he also does a lot of music videos. And he could actually retarget people based on the music that they listen to of his recordings that are up on YouTube. He's a classical jazz flamenco guitarist. And you could also retarget people based on a report that they downloaded. So when they click a link to download a report, you can redirect that to actually fire a pixel and retarget that person that they've actually downloaded the report. So what would happen is it would redirect to a page. That page would then connect them to the retargeting list that they've actually downloaded a report, and then it would redirect them to actually start downloading that report. So some of the ways of retargeting customers. So these are actually people that bought from you. So you could be retargeting customers who passed on upsells or upgrades. So maybe at the time when they did the checkout, they didn't have enough information to invest in your second offer, your upsell or your upgrade. So you could use a retargeting list to continue to offer them that upsell, and you could actually overcome those objections. So it could be that they needed some more information or they needed some more training, basically what we call like a sandwich squeeze, that you give them more content that then reinforces the need for that upsell or upgrade. It then identifies maybe some challenges that they're having that the upsell or upgrade addresses. And it could be that they've now taken the time to consume that initial product, and now that upsell makes perfect sense once you overcome that objection. You could also use retargeting to set up customer retention campaigns. So at 15 days out, at 30 days out, 90 days out, 60 days out, you're then providing more content that's reinforcing the product and reinforcing the content that is involved in your product, to then keep them into maybe a membership program or to reinforce the product that they had to reduce your refund rate. You could also use re-engagement campaigns to bring customers back to the site for more content related to the purchases. So this is re-engaging them with your brand and with your site. And then even if you're not selling within the retargeting campaign, within the banner or ad that you're using for the retargeting, it gives you the opportunity to make additional offers related to the content that you're bringing them back to your site. So you could have a video presentation there, and at a certain point within the video presentation, it then either has them opt in to another offer, and that could be a one-click opt-in if they're already on your list and they're already logged in as a member to your membership site. You can also use it to engage customers to connect on social platforms. So you can then re-engage them to like your Facebook page, follow you or subscribe to you on YouTube, follow you on Twitter, different things like that. So you can use retargeting campaigns to very cheaply get them to follow on the different social platforms as well. So like we said earlier, the money's in a list. You can easily segment your visitors based on their interests. So emails that they're opening, pages that they're visiting on your site, and content that they're going out and reading on your blog. You could offer other products and services to your visitors through retargeting. So these don't necessarily even have to be your own products. I know in the case of Andrew Willis, I know that he registered for the webinar. I'm not sure if he's with us tonight, but with chicdiapers.com, when we started to do market research for him, looking at baby magazines, we actually saw different products that a new mother will be buying, like in their last trimester, as they're starting to build their baby room, or whatever it's called, their nursery. So they're going to be wanting a crib. They're going to most likely going to be buying a video camera and upgrading to maybe a digital SLR. All of those things could actually be offered through retargeting to his list. If they're coming out to, they bought cloth diapers as they're getting ready to stock their nursery, they could then also offer them other products, like through Amazon or through other companies or other partners that he has through retargeting, and that's additional revenue streams that he can have promoting products that he isn't even related with. If they didn't like your product for some reason, maybe they would like someone else. So even if they didn't buy your product, through remarketing, you can now remarket to them with other products that even could be your competitors, and you could be reviewing competitor products on your site, still possibly pushing yours, but also giving them the opportunity to move over to your competitors as well. So one of the providers that we're started using now is called Perfect Audience. Perfect Audience we heard about through Hacker News, a blog that Spencer and I both read, and it's a startup blog. With App Amigos and the software development that we're doing here, we're very much interested in the startup world, lean startup, and Steve Blank and Eric Reese and those folks. So this company started out of Y Combinator, which is a incubator program with venture funding. They basically have no cost to get started. If you go through us, through socialtrafficlab.com/perfect audience, you'll actually get $70 credit for a trial, and it's $70 or 2 weeks. That $70 doesn't start expiring until you start running your first ad. So you can actually start and put retargeting code up on your website and start building those lists. Once you think you have enough to get started, you can then turn that trial on, and it'll start using that free $70 that they give you by going through our link. Once you're up and running,
Exactly.
Go ahead, Spencer.
And you're getting additional money into your account when you use that link. So it's pretty cool. And on top of that, something to think about on this retargeting is $70 goes a long ways. It's not like, your Google clicks where, you're paying a ton of money. Like, this is going to go a long ways. So it's really worth checking out. And we're going to give you guys some more content on how you can use this and how you can implement it. But make sure you write that link down, socialtrafficlab.com/perfect audience.
And Spencer will put
that
what I
in
may
the chat
as well.
I'll put it in the chat, Kev, so you can keep on going. No worries, man.
Okay. And then once your campaigns are running, it's really cheap to keep it going. What they do want is about $25 a week spend, which compared to all the other retargeting platforms that we looked at, that's unheard of in any other platform. A lot of them want a minimum
Well, most of the
deposit.
other platforms, they require you to load that account.
Right. They're loading with like a minimum of $500 to $1,000 to open your account to start
Exactly.
retargeting. And these guys didn't have any of that. And they were actually very good with their support. I got on a Skype call with a couple of them. I went over different campaigns that we were running. They looked at our site for discount card stock when I turned discount card stock onto Perfect Audience and said, okay, well, it looks like you have a large volume of traffic, because within a couple days we had, I think within a day we had over 1,000 people in a list. They said, well, we could actually set everything up for you. And I asked them about that. And it's actually, for them to set everything up, they're looking at you committing to about $5,000 a month spend, which we're not looking to do right now with discount card stock. But if you are a bigger company and you are already spending that amount on paid traffic, this would be, they could actually do everything for you. There's no like a lot of people are used to the percentage of spend being going to an agency to maintain your ads. It actually isn't that way with Perfect Audience. If you're spending $5,000 a month, you're then getting a dedicated account rep, and they're setting everything up for you, and there's no percentage of spend or anything like that. They're actually managing it for you. So here's the audience list that we have for discount cardstock. So the first one, this is about 2 weeks old now. We just finished the 2-week trial, and so all visitors. That's everyone that's visited our site in the past 2 weeks. We had 48,554 loads, which gave us 12,484 unique people in that list. And then after the first week, we started breaking things down after their suggestions by excuse me, different categories. So we have people that came to our clearance page. People came to the cardstock by color holding main page, by size, so 12 inch by 12 inch, 11 inch by 17 inches, linen cardstock, laid cardstock, prismatic, and crepe. And so kind of our least popular one is laid cardstock, which is a very kind of unpopular texture. And then we also set up a custom audience for people that came to our blog. So you're able to actually use wildcards. It's kind of hard to see in that image, but this one is any pages that the URL had the URL /blog/ in it. So the last character there is an asterisk. So anything that was under the blog subfolder then got into that list. So we have 214 visitors, unique visitors to our blog that's now in that list. Just looking at some of the ads that we ran, this is an example for Honey Trio, which is a basil dotted Swiss. We had a promotion running at the time for 20% off of the 12 by 12, and so this is one of the ads that we ran for that. Another ad that did rather well. If we look at these two ads, you can see a difference in the picture. This picture is it's a box of yellow. So when we bring this down to the Facebook size, it's very hard to see what this is. Whereas this ad where you can see the 3 pieces of paper splayed out, this is one of the ads that did better because it was a lot easier for them to see that it was cardstock. And this one was promoted dotted Swiss as well, 20% off, and nothing specific, but it was on the dotted Swiss products that we have. And this is another one where it's actually offering a discount code. So in this case, we are mentioning discount cardstock, and we are giving them the Facebook code that they can use as part of checkout. So even if they saw this ad as part of branding, went out to the site, and then started checking out, they could actually use this code to check out without actually going to through this ad, and they would get 15% off their entire order. In this case, I'm running discount cardstock as the title, and actually on all 3 of these ads, I had discount cardstock as the title as well. You're kind of limited in Facebook ads for the amount of text that you can use for that headline. So now moving on to AdWords, does anybody have any, before I go on, does anybody have anything specific to Perfect Audience?
No, I mean, we've had a lot of questions about setting up the account. I've actually got people setting theirs up right now.
Okay.
And they said, basically, what's the gist between using this and using the Google platform? And what I said in the chat, and we'll just say here verbally, is when you use Perfect Audience, you don't get access to just Google, but you get access to everything. And you can actually use retargeting in email. You can use retargeting on the Facebook platform. And in my opinion, the user experience is a lot better here. And you also, from what I've seen, I mean, you get the $70 credit. It's a lot more friendly of a process. And when you sign up for this, they actually send you some really good content emails. So overall, that's a thumbs up for me.
Yeah, you can actually call them or email them or chat with them on their website as well, which it's extremely hard to get to Google unless you have a rep. And we actually have a rep for discount cardstock, but but it is a totally different experience between Google and Perfect Audience. The other thing is Perfect Audience is more of a aggregator of a lot of different services, so you can really extend your reach with Perfect Audience, and you can't target Facebook with Google, but Perfect Audience is a member of Facebook Exchange, so you can actually run retargeting ads on Facebook through Perfect Audience. So now with AdWords retargeting, here's
Okay, we have one more question,
okay.
Kev. Okay, so what it was, Yuri's asking, he said, you made a video showing a partner custom audience when creating ads through the Power Editor. Is this feature only available in the US?
Yes, it is currently only available in the U.S., and we'll get into that in a little bit towards the end.
Okay, there we go.
Yep.
Thanks, Kev.
Yep. So on the AdWords retargeting, this is the list that I was mentioning earlier. We can see this is probably, this may be 6 or 8 months old, but we have a list, a retargeting list of anyone that has visited Discount Cardstock during those months, because we have a member duration set of 540 days. It just keeps on accumulating more and more people in this list. So we have 190,000 people, unique visitors to Discount Cardstock that we can target through retargeting. We also have, in the last 90 days, we have 770 people that have converted to a sale. And then the last one isn't really abandons, because this is set up to target anyone that's in the visitor pool that is not in the remarketing pool, or is not in the converted pool, which the visitor pool is 540 days, where the converted pool is only 90 days. You're going to see, one, the 190,000 people, not all of those made it to our shopping cart, so it's not really an abandonment. It's kind of a misnomer there. But we can see that it's pretty much 190,000, because there's only less than 1,000 difference, and that's why it says the same. These are kind of estimates. They don't give you exact numbers because Google's secret. Another thing that we're doing on the Social Traffic Lab side is actually YouTube retargeting. And so we actually just started this not too long ago. We still have that 540-day duration. That's the max duration that you can set up for an AdWords retargeting campaign. We have 5,600 people that have watched one of our videos up on our Social Traffic Lab channel. We have 100 people that viewed the Vote Smash video. We have 470 that viewed the Video Smash video. And we have 64 people, since we've installed, or since we've set this up, that have subscribed to Social Traffic Lab channel. I wish we did this sooner, because we now have, like, I think it's 300 and something like that, 370, I think, subscribed to our YouTube channel. If we had set this to the beginning, we would now have all of those people on this list. So actually, creating a YouTube retargeting list, you select a list type, and we'll actually see some of the different list types that you can use. You select your channel, so you can actually run advertising for multiple channels. You give it a name. You can set your membership duration, which a max is 540 days. And then the status of open and close is whether or not this is an active one, meaning if it's open, it's going to continue to put people into that list. If it's closed, it's not going to be able to put anybody into that list. You also have the option of using the data that Google has already collected over the last 30 days. So if you're setting up a new list on AdWords for your YouTube channel, you can actually include people that subscribed in the last 30 days, people that viewed certain videos in the last 30 days, and they would be included in these lists as well. So looking at some of the different list types that you can actually select and build retargeting lists from. The first, let's see, we'll just go down the list here. So viewed any video from your channel. That's the overall bucket that we have, that 5,600 people. Visited your channel page. Viewed any video as an ad from your channel. So you can actually separate people that saw your video as an ad versus saw it as a regular video. Liked any video from your channel. disliked any video from your channel. So if you have people disliking your video, you can actually retarget them as well. Commented on a video from your channel. This one, it doesn't really give you whether it was a good comment or bad comment. Shared any video from your channel, subscribed to your channel, unsubscribed for your channel. So people that were subscribed to your channel but now unsubscribed, you can start retargeting those people to try to get them back as well. So viewed certain videos. So this one you can actually select a number of videos. So in our case, let's say we had a 3-part series on retargeting. We could actually have them, if they viewed any of those videos, then we could put them into a single list. Viewed certain videos as ads, liked certain videos, and those would be groups of videos. Disliked certain videos, commented on certain videos, and shared certain videos. So the last looks like 6 are where you can combine a group of different videos, where the first part are single videos. And with Google and Perfect Audience, they have a couple different numbers that they suggest for getting started before you start running your initial ads. For AdWords, it's only 100 people. So once you have 100 people in a list, you can start retargeting with AdWords. And you know, it's just super cheap to retarget 100 people or 1,000 people because you're not with this huge audience. And you can also set cap rates as far as how often they're seeing your ads. With Perfect Audience, their suggestion is to have 1,000 people in the audience before starting your trial ads running, and so that $75 will sit out there until you actually turn on that trial. Once it does, then you'll be running a trial for 2 weeks or $70, whichever comes first. So next section, what I want to do is get into some use cases. Is there anything else that I need to cover, Spence?
No, I mean, I'm answering questions. One of our audience members asked about conversion numbers, and I needed him to be a little bit more specific because you know we gotta dial into the details, and so we can cover that later on. So let's just keep on ripping, dude.
Okay. So some different use cases here. So let's say someone watches a video on your YouTube channel. You can then remarket to them on AdWords. So they see an ad on AdWords, bringing them back to your website. When they come back to your website, you can then add them to another remarketing list through Perfect Audience. And then once they're on that list in Perfect Audience, you can now show ads to them through Google, YouTube, Facebook, and a number of different ad networks. So a number of different content sites or anything. It just opens up the total network basically once they've gone through that scenario. A use case for shopping cart abandonment. So they've visited your website, they saw a product they wanted, they added it to the cart. They could have maybe even picked out shipping or enter in their address, but for whatever reason, before they completed the transaction, they've left the site now. So they've left the website without buying. Now you can say, okay, now it's 7 days later, and it still hasn't resulted in a transaction. So they still are not in the completed conversion retargeting list. Now you can actually show them an offer to come back and check out. So this might be where you show them a discount offer, or you just may just have them come back to the site and finish their checkout as well. A squeeze page example. So I know, I think this has come up in some examples that Mind Valley Labs has done in their Mind Valley Insights training of actually using retargeting to get people to come back that didn't actually opt in. So let's say you're using a squeeze page, you're running some paid traffic to that squeeze page, and they land on the squeeze page but they didn't opt in. On that squeeze page, you could actually drop retargeting pixels for both Google and Perfect Audience at the same time. And then you could start running ads on Facebook and on Google AdWords, and you could have those ads actually be driving traffic back to some Freeline content. So even though they didn't opt in, you could start showing them the first content that they would normally get if they opted in. And then you're continuing to offer them to opt in to get more content through this sequence. So it's a multi-part content sequence, and you're just continuing to put them in retargeting lists based on where they are in that stage. And then once they do opt in, if they ever do opt in, you're then also target them. You're also tracking based on where they were in that sequence. So if they came in from content piece number 1 or content piece number 2, you're now in your follow-up sequence. At least in Office Autopilot, like what we use, we would start them later in the sequence. And so they wouldn't actually see that. You could also offer them some other content. So it could be that they don't like the video, or they don't like the other offer that you had for the opt-in. So maybe you could drive them over to a webinar registration, or maybe a white paper download. Maybe they just like to have a PDF instead of watching video. You could also drive them from those 2 landing pages that way as well. Another use case would be using retargeting to build your YouTube subscribers. So one of the benefits of having YouTube subscribers is you can actually direct message them through YouTube, which actually, depending on their settings, actually goes into their email as well. So anytime that you have new content, if you upload a new video, it asks you, do you want to broadcast this out to your subscribers? And so you can automatically let them know you have new content and re-engage and kind of jumpstart that new video that you just uploaded. Having subscribers also builds your social proof. So the more subscribers you have, the bigger your social proof is. It also builds views for your videos and channels. The more views you have, the more subscribers you have, the better ranking that you're going to have within Google for those videos as well. Google owns YouTube, so it makes sense. The better that you're doing in YouTube, the better you're going to have for search results as well. If anyone watches one of your videos but they are not yet a subscriber, you can then show ads to get them to subscribe as well, based on the retargeting list that you have. Another use case is an after-sale follow-up. So this is, you could actually create retargeting lists for 30 days, 90 days, 120 days, 200 days, 365 days. So as the customer ages, they'll gradually drop off the previous list if they don't return and buy again. And so you can then re-engage them and try to re-engage them through these different periods, and you would have an idea of how many months they have been gone. So you can say, hey, we haven't seen you for a month. Hey, we haven't, what happened? It's been 3 months already. Hey, wow, it's 4 months already. And you can re-engage them that way as well. Another one is upsells and cross-sells. So this example would be kind of for e-commerce. So let's say you are selling outdoor grills. The person buys an outdoor grill from your store, your e-commerce site. You can then start showing ads for accessories such as utensils, a rotisserie, oven mitts, smoking wood. You could also show ads for patio furniture, even if it's not your patio furniture. Maybe you have a partnership with someone else that does sell patio furniture. And in the fall, you can now start showing ads for heaters to extend their grilling experience as well. And depending on how you're setting up your retargeting, if you actually set up retargeting using Google Analytics, you can actually do geo-targeting as well. And actually, you could do geo-targeting within AdWords or within Facebook as well. But you could actually dial it in even more by using Google Analytics as well. So some Facebook custom audiences. So moving over to the kind of into the video that I sent out earlier. They have a new thing called Save Target Groups. And it looks like it's 5th on the list here, the business owners and marketing. That's the one that I used for the video. We can see that that is now targeting 1,819,600 people based on the targeting there. So those are business owners that are actually interested in a number of different types of marketing. We also have what's called a lookalike or similar audience. And we built that off of our other custom audiences that we have below. Those custom audiences that you see down below were either built off of our email list. So we, at the bottom, towards the bottom, we have our WordPress Supermax customers, our bundle customers, those people that bought our migration bundle, people that bought Video Smash or Social Directory Plus. What we did was uploaded those emails up into Facebook, and it created a custom audience for that as well. We also created custom audiences for offline and Kindle based on, I can't remember how we built those. I think that might have been through retargeting pixels as well. And then we have our overall list with 3,200 people that made a match in Facebook. And then we have some from Facebook groups, so the Warrior Forum Facebook group, the Etsy Facebook group, and also a SEO Facebook group. So if we look at those groups, the Etsy and the SEO, we can actually see lookalike groups up above. So by telling Facebook to create a similar group or a lookalike group based on Etsy, we then ended up with 2,255,300 people that have the same demographics, the same interests as the people that are in the Etsy Facebook group. So if I had that Facebook group, I could start running ads to them to start joining the Etsy group. Or if I had a product that I knew worked with the Etsy group, I could then start marketing to the Etsy lookalike group as well.
Now, Kevin, I have a question. Is the lookalike feature only available in the US, or is that worldwide?
Lookalike, I believe, is worldwide. I believe it's worldwide. I didn't start doing some additional selections to actually see what those country segments are on that, but I think based on those numbers, I think it's worldwide. So creating a go ahead.
Yuri says he can't get it in other parts of the world, but just try it out.
Okay. I wonder if it's only available in the U.S., but you can target international audiences. That might be. So custom audiences, you're uploading your existing contacts, customers' email address or phone numbers, or in the case of the tool that works with Facebook groups, you're actually using their Facebook ID from that Facebook group. In our experience, email was better than phone numbers. Phone numbers didn't have a lot of matches. Emails gave us about a 60% match. Basically, your custom audience is the same as a retargeting list, that you can include and exclude people from multiple lists. So you can actually combine the list and segment people off, or you can target multiple lists as well. And then it also gives you the ability to extended targeting based on the demographic and sociographic data that you normally have by targeting people up on Facebook. If we look at the lookalike or the similar audience, we can see on the lower part, it has the original custom audiences that we have, and then these are the lookalike audiences that I created yesterday morning. And we can see, like, the SEO group started at 3,700 people in that Facebook group, and it ended up giving me 2,246,100 people that, they're not necessarily maybe like SEO, but they probably like monster trucks and Red Bull and hot girls with race cars or something like that. And that's what it is. And they're between these age groups, and they're men. Those different demographics and sociographics is what makes that list.
If it's monster trucks and hot girls and dirt bikes, I think that described my search history. No. And just so you guys know, we've got a few more slides left, and top of the hour is in 7 minutes, so we're cruising along. Throw your hand up or type into the chat window if you guys are getting some value, getting some good training and some learning out of here. Just want to check out and see what everyone says so far.
And it looks like I have 10
got some
slides.
hands up, so that's good.
Looks like I have about 10 slides left.
Awesome. So we're hitting good time.
Yeah,
so Scott, Donna, Shane, Yuri, everyone's having a good time with this, and it's good content. So let's keep ripping, Kev.
Good. So Facebook's newest targeting is that Save Target Group. So this is what I started playing with this week. This is what was announced. I first read it on Social Media Examiner through Flipboard on my iPad. This is using consumer data from third-party providers. So Facebook has now created relationships with Epsilon, Datalogix, and Axiom to actually start feeding that data and make it available through the Power Editor. This isn't available through the regular network. This is one of the things that is available for people only using the Power Editor. And this is only available for US data as well. So when you go into the Power Editor, you'll be familiar with the Facebook broad targeting. So you have your precise interests that are your normal Facebook likes. Then you have your broad categories that we showed before, as far as moved within the last 6 months, just had a baby, those different broad categories. That the problem that I had with broad categories, it wasn't able to say I wanted a selection that only had every one of these broad categories I selected. You can now do that with partner categories. For whatever reason, I don't believe they still add. I still don't think they've added it to broad categories, but they've added it to partner categories. The only downside is in my video I selected partner categories from 2 different partners, which is not allowed. So I can't select some categories from DataLogic and some categories from Epsilon, which I did in that video. The partner categories that you have all have to be within the same data provider. Probably something with their negotiations with them. So for Axiom, they have targeting based on demographics, financials. So financials would be income and mortgage information, that type of thing. Job role, so whether they're blue collar or white collar, doctor, lawyer, or whatever. Their purchase history. So purchase, depending on the provider that you're using, you can actually see different types of products that they purchased, or whether they're above average or average purchases. Axiom actually has a lot of vehicle data, so you can actually see the make, model, how old the car is, how long ago they bought the car. All this type of information is now available through Facebook with these partnerships. It's crazy stuff, as Spencer would say. DataLogic, the same type of thing. They have some auto targeting. The CPG is actually purchase history targeting, much like Axiom. Demographics, lifestyles. This is the one where it actually had a lot of drill down for different types of moms, and I use that for the diaper example in the video. They also have retail and subscription services in their targeting as well, and then now I've skipped Epsilon. I actually come back into what Epsilon has as well. So here's an example of high spending business owners. So within, I think this is within the middle one. There's a high spenders and business travelers as 2 different segments. So I'm actually picking all. So it's instead of any, if I pick any, it's either going to be in high spenders or business travelers. But since I selected all, it's in both of these groups, and it drills down into those 2. You could also go a little bit more wild with outdoor enthusiast men between the ages of 28 and 38 that own a dog. So I have age segments between, so it's people living in the United States. They're exactly between the age of 28 and 38 who are men who are in the partner categories of DLX. So they're in their user hobbies. Let's see. And interest is dog owner, and they are outdoor enthusiasts in the lifestyle category. You could also do fit moms over 45 that enjoy the outdoors and own a dog. There's over 1 million people in this audience in the United States. So then you could completely customize your landing page to fit that demographic. So, you could have a landing page with a picture of a woman with maybe a 12-year-old on a bicycle riding next to her, and they're walking a dog and walking in the outdoors. And I don't think you could get more targeted than that, but actually you can, and we'll see that here in a little bit. So Epsilon, then they have the business targeting and demographic. The financials here, actually the purchase transactions here was average and above average. There wasn't a lot of drill down on that, but they do also have lifestyles and interests, much like the other ones. The one I like the most out of the 3 so far has been DataLogics. So now targeting to the extreme, going back to the moms. This is only 45-year-old mothers who are fit, who enjoy the outdoors, that are dieting. So they're buying diet foods through their purchase demographics or purchase sociographics, and they're also buying vitamins. So we're assuming they're taking vitamins. It could be buying vitamins for the kids. And who suffer from allergies. So they also bought allergy medicine as their purchases as well. So this is just crazy stuff. So I can target it down to 4,760 people that are 45-year-old moms who are fit and enjoy the outdoors, that are dieting and taking vitamins, and who suffer from allergies. What do you think of that, Spence?
I think that's some pretty dang targeted stuff. We're gonna call that, instead of targeting, let's call that stalking,
Yeah.
and maybe we should call it um, piling money in your bank account stalking.
You
It's
know,
pretty
and
awesome.
when I look at this now, and I'm actually thinking of your friend that is using Facebook traffic and the Facebook landing page to sell the Jack Daniel's collector bottle book. I can just
Yeah, you know what?
imagine what he could be doing with this.
I think we'll be having that conversation this week.
Yeah. So, are you as excited as us? As you can tell through my presentation, I'm very excited about this targeting. I'm very excited about the capabilities that are now available in Facebook, and would love to hear some comments from you guys.
Throw some hands up if you guys are excited about this and you think that this can make you money. Awesome. All right, Scott says it's awesome. Very excited about it. Shane says he's excited about it. Robbie's excited. Neil, Ryan, James. Wow, we got a lot of people. So
Cool.
And then we got hands raised. We got Dave with his hand raised. Nina. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool stuff. Great stuff. Exactly, guys.
Cool.
And we're really stoked to share this because no one else is doing this, and the position that you can make and the profit you can make right now, because it's early stage. I mean, we're talking pioneer. Because it's early stage, you can go through and apply this to your business, and the clicks are super cheap, they're targeted, and you back out that offer, and it's like the closest thing to printing money. And I know that sounds as silly and as goofy as everyone, as all the hypey dudes say, but honestly, that's really what it is. And the other great part is this is incredible for consulting. You go to a business owner and tell them you can do these things, no one can do this. No one knows about this. So it's super duper valuable. And that's why we're teaching this today. And I'm glad to see that, Shane, Scott, Yuri, James, Ryan, Robbie, everyone, Nina, Dave, everyone's really excited about this. And we totally agree with you guys.
And I know Spencer has bought mailing lists from like Nextmark and different things, and you can do this type of targeting with direct mail list or email list that you're buying from those providers. The thing is, now you're able to do that through paid advertising at a tremendous, tremendous discount than you would buying a direct mail list for a single mailing. This is like ridiculous. I cannot emphasize that enough. The amount of targeting, the ability that you have targeting is the same as direct mail, but you don't have all the costs involved with that. It's crazy powerful.
Exactly, but here's the change. This is what makes this different than direct mail. So let me share with you guys, because I have dropped a lot of direct mail. And with direct mail, here's the difference. Direct mail totally works. It's very powerful. I drop direct mail all the time. The difference is this. When you rent a list from someone, you rent the list one time. And you can't use it more than that because they seed the list. When you do this, you are buying that data. If they like your page, become one of your subscribers, become a customer, do whatever it is, you now own that forever. You can target them, and it's super valuable. I mean, this is long-term growth. And what we've done today is we've actually put together some more advanced training. We didn't want to be on here for hours, and we knew that and maybe if you want to advance to the next slide, Kev, but what we knew is there were a couple pieces that were essential to making this work for you. And those pieces would be getting your creatives done. And Kevin and I have been outsourcing for years. We screen people all the time. So we've found the very best designers in the world, and we're going to be giving that to you. We already gave you the $70 credit for Perfect Audience. No obligation there. We just wanted to make sure that you guys are getting in on the forefront. On top of this, we have step-by-step PDFs, training, Q&A. I mean, really like a no-fail policy. And we're developing all of this so that you guys can implement it and be at the forefront of the industry. And that's where We want to help you go from taking a business that's good or an offer that's good and make it great. Make something that totally works for you. And so we've put together a special training. Do you want me to put that link in, Kevin?
Yeah, actually, I got a bonus here too. And the thing is, this is something that is being developed. So it isn't something that you can now log in and go through the step-by-step videos and PDFs right now. It is something being developed, and really this is a pre-announcement making it available tonight on the webinar. So with the added bonuses, we're also giving you email support, ensuring you're able to get everything set up. So you'll have access to me via email if you're running into any kind of questions through the training, different things like that. You'll also, if you don't already have, you'll get our Google Analytics Masterclass recordings. This ties in really well with Google Analytics, and you want to be able to track that, and so you'll get that as well. You'll also get the bonus training on retargeting using Google Analytics data. So you can actually change your Google Analytics code so that you can then start targeting people in Google AdWords based on different segments that you create in Google Analytics as well. And I'll put, yeah, if you want to put the link in, I have a slide that I see that I need to change here.
There's the link, guys. So I just put the link out for you. This stuff's awesome. I mean, Kevin really went light over those bonuses, but the Google Analytics training, we've got that uploaded to Udemy, and I mean that's a course. I believe it's $99 on Udemy. It's great content. I mean, we've jam-packed this stuff to be at the forefront. We didn't share the price tonight. And now you would think that with this training, it would be a master class of $1,000, and we didn't want to do that. And we didn't even want to make the class at $499. Even giving you guys email support, doing Q&A, and creating this fail-proof. What we did is we created this as something that's super easy for you to succeed and something that you can wrap into your budget. I mean, we already gave you the $70 credit, and it's only $99. That's it. So what I want you guys to do now is click the link in the chat window, or if the link pops up there on the slide, I want you to go there, and it's $99. That's it. $99, and you guys are set. You're going to get the step-by-step, and the reason why we do is step-by-step is so that if you aren't technical, you can take the videos that we've created, the PDF we've created, and you can go to a virtual assistant and say, set it up for me. I mean, it's that simple. When you set up your account with Perfect Audience, they give you the code, a simple copy-paste code. And here's the cool part. If you're not technical like me, when I set up the account, you know what I did? They've got a simple little button there that says send to your developer. So you don't even have to touch it. The developer takes care of all of it. And you get a rock and roll, and you're totally set. So $99, and you guys are good as gold. You get the entire Google Analytics course, email support, and I mean, we could go through in here and ask Shane, we could ask Scott, we could ask Nina, we could ask Ben, other customers that have been around with us for years, probably going on 2 years now that we've been doing this. We offer the best support out there. We love our customers. We're here for the long haul, and we're here for you guys. So jump in. The link is inside the chat window, and it's only $99, and you get those awesome bonuses, and you'll be ready to rock and roll. You already got $70 to start, so there's no excuse of like, oh man, I gotta fund my account. You got $70 to rock and roll, and you're gonna set this up the right way. You'll be making money. It's really cool. So I'm just I'm going through. I'm answering questions. Good to see you guys in here. Seeing people jump on. Awesome. Yes, definitely. Definitely, Scott. Scott's saying super deal, guys. By a mile for sure. It definitely is. It looks like it's awesome here. Yes, absolutely, guys. I'm answering those questions, seeing those things come through. I'm glad that you guys are supporting us, and I'm glad that you guys are jumping on. You guys are becoming those pioneers in your industry, taking advantage, and you guys see that opportunity to be able to be at the forefront as a consultant or doing your own businesses. Awesome. Very cool.
And we didn't really talk about local consulting with this yet. And so, yeah, we'll definitely be covering that in the course. And And for any of you that are in that part of it, and that's what you want to know, then we'll definitely cover that in the course.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Well, we are super excited to have you guys in, having all those new people roll into the group, into this masterclass training. You're getting that Q&A webinar. You're getting the fail-proof, foolproof. You're getting the straight up. You're getting email support. You get the Google Analytics, which was a completely different course that we sold. I mean, market value. It's on Udemy. I mean, we've pulled this through to make something that would work for you guys, and at 99 bucks, I mean, it's a no-brainer. Already got $70 there. You're going to get access to designers that we've worked with. I mean, these designers, either that we've worked with or that we approve. So you don't have to go through and filter and sift through all these other applicants. It's just straight up. You're set. You're ready to go. You get your business rolling with these ads, and you will be a shadow list rock star. So, you got anything else to cover, Kev?
I don't think so. I got 2 animals here that are ready to eat dinner. Is there any other questions in the chat that I need to cover?
No, okay. We're good. We got just responded to Scott. Just jumped on, and Scott just said it's definitely worth the value, and it definitely is. And we're really excited to have you guys on. So we're going to leave this page up for a few minutes, and would love to have more of you guys jump in with us together. Again, we're a pretty intimate group. We love our customers. We provide incredible customer support. And got another one on there. James, glad to have you in, James. We're stoked to have you there. And I can't spell, but I just sent a message to you, said awesome. And really glad to have you in there. And let me see if we have any other people jumping on. I know Kevin's got to go in just a minute, but I'm really excited to have you guys on the new training for the shadow list retargeting. And this is at the very forefront. So excited, super excited to have you guys with us.
Yeah.
Let me make sure I've got all the links correct. Yep, the links are correct. Sending out a link to Shane from Australia. Thanks for coming early in the morning for us, Shane. Got the link in there for you. And questions above. Let's see. Ben's got a question above. Let's see if I can answer that. How important is an AdWords account? Working on getting it restored. Kevin, what do you say, Ben?
If you're going into Perfect Audience, you wouldn't really necessarily need an AdWords account. The AdWords account would be required for the YouTube retargeting, but retargeting on any of the rest of the networks, Perfect Audience goes across a number of ad networks as well. So okay. It goes, I think it actually may even be within Google networks as well. But I know it goes well beyond Facebook onto a number of different ad networks. We also tested Site Scout, but Site Scout just it's like a lower level audience. It isn't really the audience that we're looking for. That was recommended to us earlier when we started looking at retargeting, but it was one of the companies that required like a $500 deposit, and just the interface and the networks that they're on, the placements that you can get, it just looked like it didn't look like they were high enough level placements that we would want for our brand. Because that's kind of the thing too, is you kind of have to decide where if you're advertising your own business, like with us, with it being a startup type of thing with software, we want to make sure that our brand is being placed on websites that we don't want to be like on Plenty of Fish or something like that, or hotbabes.com or something like that.
I like being on hotbabes.com. It's not even a website. I better not say that actually, because it's probably a
I
website.
use your photo on those banner advertisings. Yeah.
I know. Well, your microphone's cutting out, but just seeing a bunch of people jump on and into this training, really glad to have you guys here. And if you do have questions, let us know. If you're a Platinum member and you have additional questions, feel free to send me a message. Because Kevin's microphone's going out and he's got to head out of town. I'm going to have him throw this on pause, and then I'll end the webinar in just a minute. If you want to keep the screen up and right before you head out of the house, Kev, then you can turn it off. Does that sound like a plan?
Yep, that's fine.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to stay here, answer additional questions, but yes, guys, really excited to have you jumping into this training here. Foursquare retargeting, I have not done that yet, but I would imagine that Perfect Audience will be at the forefront of doing that. There are other kinds of retargeting that you can do. Masterclass and all